what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Arknights reaction. Today we have Ceobe's Fungimist? I'm not sure what fungi mist, whatever variant of that is correct. I'm assuming it's Fungimist. Either way, lobby theme. Apparently this is the original IS event, as well as another song by Gubman, and it's called The Mushroom Moves, which just made me laugh as far as the title goes. But everyone was also saying this is both fun and jazz, so that's always a good time. I loves me a good jazz song. So I'm gonna be listening to this as requested by Testy Lazy. That was one with all of the likes on it, but then Siberius the Frosty is the one that actually gave me that extra info, as well as the title in Chinese, to go and find the proper upload. So thank you to both of you, and I guess without further ado, let's go! Ooh. I just talked recently how much I love open cymbals as an introduction. As a cymbal dancer myself, it's always nice. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, this isn't just jazz. This is like freeform. Ooh. Damn. Damn, the mixing on the drums, the drum tone. Holy hell. Whew. I love that extra. Yeah, that extra like texture that comes in. The very wide panning. I can't tell what instrument that is. Is that a bass? No, it's not. Can't be. No, that's a drum. It almost sounded like a pluck. Is that a drum? Oh, this is beautiful, dude. Everyone's doing their own thing. That's real freeform shit. Even the rhythm section's kind of doing whatever they want. Oh man, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've heard freeform. It's like a muscle you have to train in order to hear everything. And I am definitely out of practice. God, I'm gonna have to listen to that again before I talk to you all about it. There was so much going on in there. So I did listen to it again just now, and it didn't make any more sense. And that's kind of the best thing about freeform jazz. It doesn't have to, but you can appreciate every single person's individual musicality in it, and it still sounds gorgeous. The fact that they are all separate, making a piece together, and bringing this chaos some sort of control just by existing at the same time. Being such good musicians that you don't need to be playing the same thing to make it work at the end of the day. And I'm sure that this is mostly written, albeit I feel like this was also Adam just saying, give me a solo. And all of the soloists were like, I got you. Like, they all just got it. Like, he might have made a bass version of it, some sort of a demo track that everybody just built on themselves, and then he just shoved it all together into one piece. So they all kind of are working off each other, but it's not the same way as it would be live, where you have more opportunities to retake things, think of the way you're going to play the solo, actually, like, notate what you're going to do a little bit instead of just playing it raw and hoping it works out. That's kind of the difference between between doing something live versus recorded. You have options and opportunities when you're doing something in recording, but live, you have to be able to have practiced with these people so many times that you know each other and trust each other. I'm not really talking out of experience there, but I have seen jazz performances live, and you can definitely tell when they've performed together for long enough that they understand each other. When somebody does something a little bit weird, you kind of see the stank face turn on, and they're like, ooh, okay, you're doing something different this time. And they know how to adjust for that. And that's kind of what this song felt like. Everything was definitely separate, but all at the end of the day came together to create such an interesting dynamic with all these different mixes as well. Like, I still was listening back trying to hear that one sound that kept happening in my left ear, and I was like, is that a guitar that's like no filters on it, nothing, just a really clean sound, and it's like a palm muted sort of thing where like they're just kind of plucking on chords? Or was it a set of like multiple drums, just very high tuned, very tight, not a lot of resonance? It was kind of pancakey. It just didn't have a lot of reverb on it at all, so it wouldn't be like a normal sized drum. They're probably very small, you know? But even after listening to it twice in a row, I'm still not 100% sure. I can't tell if it's just a really dry, muted guitar or if it's a drum. Like, I'm pretty sure it sounded like it had some sort of like, it was almost like it was a muted bass. Like, I'm leaning in that direction. It didn't quite have enough of like an initial transient hit to feel like a drum, but I also could be wrong there, and that is what makes this genre so interesting to listen to. The fact that you can always listen to it, hear something new, hear something from a different perspective, listen to it from a different ear, and hear something completely different, just based on how the song is mixed in a performance like this. At least it's like, where are things happening? Every instrument was so panned in different directions that you were able to lock in on them pretty easily in the stereo space and go like, okay, well, here's this one, and there's that. But then like something like that would show up in your ear, it'd be really close, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, and then you're like taken out of that and you have to focus on this, and it's just such a broad, wide scope that they're trying to cover. And then it happened again later in this year, and it sounded like a different instrument over here, so it might have been. So it's like, what's happening? Like, it's being able to get all of this into a piece and make it feel somehow coherent, despite it sounding not coherent at all, is so impressive. Like, everyone had the common goal of making this atmosphere. You know, like the atmosphere that this song was, they created that. And it's wild that I felt the vibe they were going for, which felt like a forest, something that is untread, something that is just overgrown and messy. It sounded a little bit jungle in some places. And I'm like, okay, well, that's really cool that they're able to do that through the nonsense, but also that chaos is kind of part of that atmosphere. The fact that you never know what's going to come next, what could be around the corner, how deep does this forest go? Like, I don't know. And it's kind of scary, but also weirdly welcoming and comforting all at the same time, because you don't necessarily feel a threat, but the fact that there's a non-zero chance of threat is also kind of keeping you on edge. And I feel like everything being panned around and separated like it was, the fact that you're hearing things at different locations feels like you're constantly being watched, and you have to like pay attention to any little rustling in the leaves that you might think could kill you. You know, you never know. And there's just so much of that here. Like, every single time I locked onto the piano and I was like, ooh, that's doing something cool, then the drums would do something. I'm like, oh shit, okay, that is now taking precedent over everything else. That has grabbed my attention. I need to focus on this. And then that would happen with every individual instrument, every single one of them, all the saxophone stuff, all of it. And I couldn't decide where to pay attention. But it was so fucking nice to listen to at the same time. But I can also say that from the comfort of my room, and not if I were hearing this in context of being like in the wilderness. Like, if this was supposed to be the theme for a world like that, an area like that, and I were to hear that in person, like if I were to hear all of these noises around me and not being able to zero in on any one of them, and every single time I did, something else would happen and it would pull my energy away and pull my attention to that, I would be terrified. I've been in the forest many times. I live in the Midwest United States. We have a lot of woods here. I am not used to that. I am extremely used to that. But you never know if it's going to be a bear, a deer, a raccoon, anything. And that's kind of what this felt like. It's obviously much different from something like our rainforest, which would be way worse. You know, like there are so many more dangerous forest ranges out there. But even in the areas that I am that are relatively safe on that front, you never know. And you never know what it could be. It could be a hunter, you know, and they can't tell. And sometimes they don't even warn you. A little side story here. There actually was a moment when I was a kid and I was going through some woods like attached to a friend's house. There's just this little chunk in the middle of my hometown. And this dude owned it. And we were walking through it. We didn't know that it was owned. We thought it was just public land because we had a state park in our area. And it's like, okay, it's probably attached to that. This dude waited till we were so close that he then knocked on the side of the tree. We looked up and we saw him up in like a little like hunter's box in the tree, like a good 30 feet above us. And then he just kind of did this, and we were like, oh, we need to get out of here. The fact that we didn't see him, and that is a person with a loaded gun, is terrifying. So I can't really imagine the scenario you would be in if you were in something with nature that doesn't give you warning, you know? Like, that tangent is exactly the fear that this song instills in me. The fact that I might not be able to see something because it knows how to hide is so cool, but also this mystical edge to it, because you're like, oh, it sounds so neat, but also weirdly friendly, like I said. It doesn't sound like it's gonna hurt you necessarily. It's just intrigue. It's like there's a bunch of other animals and you have to figure out where they all are. And while it might be a threat, and the fact that you don't know is scary, it also is weirdly comforting. So I don't know how to exactly to phrase that. It's freeform jazz. It's chaotic, it's beautiful. It takes so much skill to be able to do well, so much trust to be able to manage this properly. And I think that that's the perfect vibe you could do for something like this. I mean, just basing it off of the image I'm seeing on screen, I'm assuming that's what they're going for, a forest that doesn't really have answers, and maybe that's your job, is to figure out what the answer is. I don't know what the story of this event is. It's not really something I've ever come across before, but it makes me wonder, what the hell are they looking for? Is it a threat? Are you okay? Are you with friends, or are you alone? Because this feels kind of lonely with the scattered energy, the fact that you're scared a little bit in the music, the fact that you can't pinpoint anything is terrifying. But I also feel like that's part of the world of Arknights as well. So maybe, I don't know, I'm getting a little bit too deep into this. I've been talking for a while, so I'll end it there. But let me know how close or far I was on that assumption. This was so neat. I loved how this was put together. This was so cool. Adam did a great job here. Anyone he brought on here, phenomenal work. I'm sure he brought on a bunch of soloists for this. It's just, oh, it's so good. But like I said, I'm done. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something else you want me to get to, by all means, drop it down in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!